we as an organization, we have been investing in several technologies over the last few years, and we actually embarked on our digital transformation program last year. While I may not be able to talk about all the technologies, I will tell you that we are, as an organization, we have B2B and B2C verticals. So some organizations, some entities focus on B2B, some entities focus on B2C. So if I specifically take an example of, let's say, sales and marketing, we are looking at a combination of Microsoft and Salesforce technologies. And we have developed some frameworks on them, which we are using effectively for the B2C part of it. So what we essentially do is make the customer interface or the customer interaction or the last mile, if you may, easier and more effective for an organization and for the customer to be able to interact with us and get an idea of our offerings. So that's what we've been doing, and it's been pretty effective. So we built a very strategic organizational framework based on these two technologies right now. So again, we are a complex organization. So obviously we have multiple enterprise solutions running across the group. And while one size may not fit all, what we have done is actually have laid an enterprise intelligence layer on top of all of these systems, which actually collect data from each of the enterprise systems, if I may, and actually convert them into analytics. So what we are doing is really giving a cockpit view to the management based on what they want to see. So for example, a general manager of a unit may want to see his sales and his receivables and his performance by unit, whereas the CEO of the organization may want to see a much larger 3,000 meter view in terms of how as a group we are doing, how we are performing. A CFO may want to have his own dashboard. So what we have done is actually gone and defined KRAs for each of these units or for each of the functions, and then based on that the dashboards have been designed, and the analytics are essentially a result of the data that we cull out from these, and these are converted into information. So it's been very effective. We actually use analytics to make business decisions. Yes, so the startup industry is absolutely growing at a very rapid pace in UAE, and I am part of a couple of forums like these, especially at India at Expo and all of that, and there are some brilliant minds at work, and there is a lot of exciting ideas coming out of the garage or the warehouse, if you may. So in the space of AI or in the space of analytics, in the space of machine learning specifically, I think while the excitement may be to bring something quickly to the market and do a lot of work, I think what startups also need to look at is try and ideally they should try and focus on a particular area or one focus area rather than focusing on the horizontal, because then when you start going horizontal, you actually your investment criteria becomes very large. You sometimes as a startup, you are one founder or maybe two, you have a thin team, you're running a very lean team, you start dividing yourself or you start spreading yourself too thin, and that becomes a challenge. So ideally focus on one particular thing, take that, make it big, make it grow, do a good business case and present it to the market. I would think the challenges that you would face is there is a lot of action in the market. There is a lot of people trying to do either similar things or the same things. Do not get distracted by it. Stay focused to your idea. Find out what is the value you're delivering to the customer, to the stakeholder, to your investor. And that's what you're interested in, to the customer ultimately. But what do you bring to the table from a solution point of view? It does not have to be the state-of-the-art solution. Sometimes you could just be addressing a small part of the market that needs attention. As startup owners or as entrepreneurs, they're very smart, they're very intelligent, they're very forward-thinking. So the flip side to that is you also tend to look at a larger problem to solve. And while that is a good thing to do, sometimes you may want to look at those small nuggets that are lying here and there that need to be attended to. And if you do, that will actually help the ecosystem in a very big way, actually. I would think the startup founders and the Generation Y, Generation Z are coming out should actually try and reach out to people who can help them, mentor them, contribute to them. I'm, like I mentioned to you, I'm part of the forums where we see startups coming and making pitches. And I always say this: you may not find a funder in the room, you may not find an investor in the room, but you'll surely find a collaborator, you'll surely find a mentor, you'll surely find an advisor, and you might find a friend in the room who will tell you what you need to do, or who will give you his phone number or his email ID for you to reach out when you are in trouble, or when you need attention, or when you need help. And I think that, for me, is the biggest thing, or the biggest advice I would give. So reach out to people whom you believe can contribute to your idea. Sometimes it is good to take along the right people on a journey. So that will be the only advice I would give them. There are a lot of people out there wanting to help, wanting to make a difference, including somebody like me. And we would love to help the entrepreneurs make it big. Hello, dear friends. My name is Venkatesh Mahadevan. I'm the CIO at Dubai Investments, and I'm very excited to be speaking at the Enterprise Cloud and Data Center Forum, which is going to be held on the 25th and 26th of May in Dubai. And I understand it's going to be an in-person event. So I'm looking forward to actually speaking on mapping a clear integrated strategy and setting a time frame to achieve digital transformation. That's the topic. I'm working on hopefully being able to say some sensible things and get all of you interested to take out your pen and pad and make a few notes. So see you all there, and have a lovely year ahead.